Daaah Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, one of the baddest dudes, top 5 pound for pound dudes out here in the welterweight division got to be Errol the Truth Spence, right? Errol the Truth Spence, a.k.a. Van Helsing. When I talk about the man, you know what I'm saying? The heart rate don't go up when it's, Errol Spence. Now, Errol Spence has come out and said something that might be controversial to some, right? And he just basically said, listen, I don't care about the pound for pound, right? I don't really care too much about legacy, but I definitely don't care about pound for pound. I care about big paydays, right? Now, a lot of people, we know these things to be true with some fighters, but hey, it's something that, a lot of fighters are not going to say. Right, and Errol Spence right now, because you got Errol Spence and you got the Terrence Crawford thing going on. And me personally, I'm if you're gonna say it in a bad way, I'm a Bud buddy or whatever, people would say, because I think Bud Crawford is going for legacy fights. Right, he's trying to become undisputed in the 2nd division, and he's telling you straight up he's trying to become a 3-division undisputed champion, and I would like to see history like that, right? So and then he also doesn't get his just due. Errol Spence pretty much does. Errol Spence gets enough props from even the mainstream, so it's not really that bad. That's why when I give my Negro League fighters, I always never say Errol Spence, because he's pretty much, that's fair how he's being treated up until now. But Errol, the thing is, I like the legacy fighters. I like the ones that I like. Devin Haney, who did what he had to do to become undisputed because he cares about undisputed. But let me just back up. A fighter that cares about big paydays and stuff like that is also right. You're surrounded by fighters who have these titles, right? And like Big Fish with Errol Spence, or Pound, or the Cash Cow, or the face of boxing. And you see these people, you're growing up in the age of Canelo, who basically lost to Floyd Mayweather and got more famous, and never had to fight the hard fighters in his division, right? Now, he's not black, so it's easier to do that, but it just happens right on your watch, right? So you're thinking, well, shoot, he didn't have to, he never had to fight a Demetrius Andrade or a Charlo, and people gave him, he got dope. They raised the Clenbuterol thing. They gave him a franchise title when he didn't have to fight. They called the Demetrius Andrade a horrible fighter. They ignored a undisputed fight at 160 pounds, the middleweight division. All these things just to coddle this guy, and that's pretty, and he's making all the money, and the guys he don't want to fight are making none, right? Devin Haney had to take very little. He's trying to get all this legacy in his division, and there's a dude in his division who ain't even tried to fight him and haven't fought him, Lomachenko, Stevenson, or anybody. And he make way more money than him. More people come to his fights, and that's Gervonta Davis. So what this legacy, and all this stuff we're trying to do, I'm not rolling like that. And then he also makes a point. He's like, a lot of Hall of Famers are broke, right, when they get put in the Hall of Fame, So he just wants to make sure he's going to be able to, have his ranches, feed his kids, and feed his family. Now, a lot of people do their occupation for those reasons. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to knock on Errol Spence for saying that. I'm really not. Not in the climate we have. If these things weren't going around, if there wasn't a Canelo Alvarez, right, in fighting, and others that are just avoiding fights, hard fights, and just finagling their way around and making big money by doing so, then it'll be different. But the sport's not regulated, so Errol Spence is right by making sure, securing his financial situation and taking the big fights. And I guess his point is, if legacy comes, it comes. Like this Terrence Crawford fight. It's a legacy fight right now. Regardless of what you say, that's a legacy fight. And he did his part for getting it. So, no, we're not going to get on Errol Spence by saying that he'd rather have legacy, that he would rather have the big money fights than legacy. In this climate, you got to agree with the man, whether you like it or not. Me personally, I tell you again, I'm a sport guy. From the sports perspective, from the spectator, I would rather see the legacy fights. Oh, man, they fighting for undisputed. Oh, man, he's trying to get another division title. Oh, he's trying to go challenge the champion, stuff like that. So, you know, just like, for example, in tennis, it was awesome to see Novak Djokovic get his 23rd Grand Slam, right? And he's now, you know, the GOAT because, you know, especially for the fact that they didn't let him go to the Australian Open and the U.S. Open, I think it was, because he didn't get vaccinated, right? And he couldn't make those tournaments, and Nadal got in front of him. So now he was able to win at French Open where Nadal is the man and get his 23rd Grand Slam. You watch history no matter what sport it is. So you want to do that as a spectator. You want to watch historic things, right? In boxing as well. But the boxers need to get paid, need to make sure that they get paid. And Errol Spence is just making sure I'm getting paid first. Whatever else happens, happens. You can't fault the man for that. Y'all feeling that? Daaah Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm about here, y'all.